Welcome to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoating. First up, Sam and Julie unlock hidden horsepower in the Holley C6 Corvette with a Diablo Sport in-tune programmer. Meanwhile, Doug rolls in with his 96 Gentry 427 Cobra for some thrilling upgrades. Stay tuned as Sam dives into the world of exhaust systems, revealing the secrets to maximizing horsepower. And if that's not enough, watch as Sam installs a beefy 9-inch rear end in a Chevy Nova, transforming it into a performance powerhouse. Over the last several episodes, we've witnessed the Holley C6 Corvette undergo a stunning makeover. From a meticulous deep clean to the installation of new valve covers, performance intake manifold, Flowmaster exhaust, a Hurst shifter, and a big brake upgrade. Every detail has been meticulously crafted for maximum performance and style. Now, Sam's unlocking the full potential of this Corvette with the installation of a Diablo Sport in-tune programmer.
All right, guys, we are at the tail end of our Holley C6 Corvette project. Julie and I have done many things on this car as we've come up to this point, both in the beautification department and in the maintenance department. We've done valve covers, air intake, we've done the brakes with the erratic speed rotors, and naturally what's left to do on this car is to
tune it.
So we went to Diablo Sport and we got an in-tune programmer, and I had Julie tune the Corvette all by herself. She updated it, went through the whole spiel. Tell everyone what you did.
So everything you need comes in the box. It's very simple. You've got your controller, you've got your USB cable. That's all you need to update your controller and then upload the tune into the car. The first thing you do is always to read the instructions. It'll tell you to go to holley.com. You're going to download your program. Then you're going to plug in your controller into your laptop or desktop, and you're going to update the controller, and then it's all ready to upload into the car.
There's many different tunes you can put into the vehicle. It's also a diagnostic tool. So if you notice when you did that, it asked you if it was a custom tune, if it was a Diablo Sport tune, because with Diablo Sport, you can actually custom program every vehicle that Diablo Sport supports. So let's say someone like me who has a remote tune, I'm able to go into my laptop, make you a file, send it over to Julie. She's gonna go to the laptop, pull that file down into the handheld and go into the car and program it. Those are in situations like a camshaft, supercharger, turbocharger, anything like that. You can also go in, and if you change your gear ratio on another vehicle or you change your tire size like we have here on this vehicle, you can calibrate the speedometer by simply inputting some numbers. If you guys are doing this for your car, remember your battery has to be very healthy. This one's brand new, so I didn't have to hook up a charger or anything to it. But you saw Julie, if your battery is 1 or 2, 3 years old, you want to hook up a battery charger or a jump box to it. If you're going to use a little handheld jump box, make sure that you have it to where it's fully on and not pulsing, so that it gives you the full power needed to actually program this. The last thing you want to do is have the battery or electronics mess up or get low voltage, because then it'll damage the upload to the car or the unit itself. And like this car here, every time you turn the car on, the lights will come on. And every time it goes through its cycle, the lights will come on and off. So make sure you're paying attention and turn off the lights so that you get the full energy of the battery so that the in-tune works properly. So what we did, we went to Diablo Sport and got us an in-tune programmer, very cool, versatile device, adds about 25, 30 horsepower, and it is fully customizable.
It was very easy. Everything comes in one small box that you need. Upload it into the car, follow the prompts. It's all very, very easy.
And then you're good to go on the track. This is fully carb legal, 50 states. It's awesome for the race course and it's awesome for the street.
Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoating. Sam and Doug embark on a journey of authenticity with Doug's Gentry 427 Cobra. Originally planning for new aluminum cylinder heads, they opt out for a period correct approach. But that doesn't mean sacrificing performance. Stay tuned as they elevate this vintage experience with a fresh set of tires.
You all know how much I love to be punished, so I asked Doug to bring another car, and what does he bring me? Another Ford.
Well, you know, Sam, this is one of my favorite cars in my collection. This is a 427 Cobra. It was built by a company called Gentry Motor Works, John Gentry. This is a 96 427 Cobra SC. It is an absolute blast to drive, and this was really built to be a collector quality car. People ask me, is it a kit car? No, it is not. There was 40 of these produced. It is a tremendous car to drive, and I've always wanted to do a couple little tweaks to it, and that's what we're gonna do, Sam. We're gonna go ahead and put aluminum heads into it, an aluminum oil pump, take a little bit of the weight out, and also help dissipate a little bit of the heat. You know, with age comes wisdom, guys. Putting the aluminum heads, what I was hoping to really accomplish wasn't so much more power, it was to take some weight off of the front end. This is a non-power steering car, non-power brakes, but after we got into it, I realized this is gonna be a tremendous amount of work. We're gonna have to disassemble part of the car. You know, having a 428 motor in this bay and the way everything sits, I think they put the engine in and then built the car around it. It's gonna be a lot of work to get the head out. I worry about scratching or doing something inside of this pristine engine bay. So Sam and I are gonna tackle that on a later date. There's some other maintenance items and there's some other items that we wanna change on the car, but the more we looked at it, there's a time you look at it and there's a time you walk away and say, let me think about it and come back at a later date. And I think that's what we ought to do, Sam.
Absolutely. I mean, it is very possible to do. It's gonna take more time, not enough time that we have in a situation like this. This is something where you guys wanna take your time at home and really do it right so you don't scratch anything. You got all your parts, like the square gasket out there, we don't have.
We don't have. Yeah, as we got into it, we were hoping to be able to remove the header and pull everything out, but that's not gonna, we're gonna have to leave part of the header on to try to get the head out.
Some of the best poker hands are the ones you don't play.
That's absolute fact.
Are those tires old?
The tires, yeah. What I've found in this car, Sam, I don't know why, but the rear tires wear out way faster than the front tires.
That means you're doing your job right. So what we did was we went with a set of staggered tires, the original size that came off it, which is a 245/60 and a 255/60. On it was period correct Goodyear GT4s. And really, we couldn't get the Goodyears, but the next period correct would be the BFGs. Now these are touring tires. They're not speed rated tires. They're only top rated at 115 miles an hour. But that's a 15-inch wheel, period correct to the car, so we don't want to change the tire size or anything like that. So we're just gonna keep it under 120 miles an hour. You guys see, you could go to Tire Distributors of Georgia, get yourself even old 15-inch tires just like you see here. We kept the white walls out because that's period correct to the car. Take a little water and a brush, that comes right off, and you're good to go. I can't believe Tire Distributors of Georgia actually had 15-inch tires on the shelf.
I can't believe they did either, and Sam, they look good.
And their BFGs, period correct. Those tires have been around for 50 years.
Oh, I know. You know, and the other ones, it was time, Sam. It was time.
Yeah, I was noticing on the corgi machine when I was dismounting the old ones that there was a lot of cracking around the letters.
Yeah, you know, and Sam, I was really taking a risk with those tires. They could have blown at any time. New rubber, and boy, they look good. And I'm I'm happy we didn't change those heads out. This is period correct. This makes sense.
That was the best decision you have made in a long time.
I think so too, Sam. You know what happens? You get a lot of gray hair. Sometimes it even falls out a little bit, but you get older and wiser. And I think that was an older and wiser decision.
Yep, just 5 years ago, you would have done it. So I'm having Bobby Bueller build me a new engine for the 67 Cadillac. We're gonna go with a 427 cubic inch all aluminum LS engine. I've already got the sleeves, he's doing the machine work. I went to Race Winning Brands because they are the leading manufacturer of performance parts for automotive and the power sport market. What you want is peace of mind when it comes to the rotating assembly. I went with a completely forged Manley crankshaft, forged H-beam Manley rods with a JE forged aluminum piston that's coated so it reduces the piston to wall clearance. The thing about Race Winning Brands is about peace of mind. When you're a racer, you want that engine to last the whole race, you want it to last the whole season. So they're gonna give you peace of mind. But they also have everything else that go along with the rotating assembly. They got cylinder heads, they got the blocks, they got the electronics, they got the valve train components, along with all the exhaust components you need to make that race car yours and to make it completely reliable. So when you guys are building yourself an engine, you're building yourself a car, you're building yourself something that's going to be competitive. You're spending a lot of money, you want peace of mind, you want to spend it one time, you go to Race Winning Brands.
Welcome back to more Sam's Garage, presented by NHOU. Sam dives into the world of exhaust systems and horsepower. Learn how to maximize performance by minimizing restriction with a Valvetronic exhaust system. By giving you control over the exhaust flow, these systems unlock hidden horsepower and deliver an exhilarating driving experience.
So let's talk exhaust today, and exhaust drone and horsepower from it. So we all know that anytime you unrestrict the flow of the exhaust system, you're gonna make more horsepower. But from it, the byproduct is gonna be sound. There's a couple of ways of attacking that problem, and that is gonna be with a exhaust cutout that you can put on. You can make your exhaust quiet, and then you can put the old school exhaust cutouts on it that open up right before the mufflers, and they'll dump the exhaust before the mufflers, and you'll get sound out of it. Another way of doing it is gonna be with a Valvetronics muffler, where everything is incorporated all in one piece within the muffler. You have a 3-inch inlet and a 3-inch outlet. And in the middle right here, you have a valve that's vacuum operated. So what happens is that when this valve is closed, there's a 2-inch hole here that's gonna make the muffler flow. And inside here, the 3-inch goes into a wall. The air is gonna come through here. It's gonna bypass the valve and go through the muffler. And the air is gonna come out. It's gonna be a lot less quiet, but it's gonna be a lot more restrictive. But what happens is that when it's open, the air goes right through, no muffler, straight pipe. You can see right through the hole. So then you're gonna get your full horsepower, no restrictions, full sound. The cool thing about the Valvetronic muffler is there are no little hardware. This is completely welded. It's a nice stainless valve welded on there, and it's only got one function, and that is to open and close via a diaphragm that is controlled by the air compressor. This is a little box. This is not waterproof. When you install this, you want to install it somewhere in the car. So you're going to install this box. It's pretty much a little air compressor. You got a little fitting right here. You've got a vacuum line to go to the muffler. If you're running a dual setup, it comes with a T-fitting as well. And then it also comes with a very nice remote control where you can open and close your muffler, making it loud and quiet with your car running at any car show just by a push of a button. It also comes with the power lead you need to go to your cigarette lighter, but you're gonna see that. I don't want to see that. So what I do is I cut it, then I hardwire my wires for the ignition source to the car. And it's very important that when you guys are installing your Valvetronic system, that you use a 12-volt ignition on source with the engine running or with the accessories on. What's cool about this is anytime we add exhaust systems to our cars, we don't realize the drone that comes with it. But on an import, to make horsepower, you really have to open up that exhaust system. And what happens is that it just becomes way too loud and obnoxious, and it creates a lot of drone. When you're going down the highway, 80 miles an hour, the RPM is singing like my Acura Integra. I had to install one of these on there. But when I hit the button and close the muffler, all the drone is gone. But remember, that anytime you restrict the exhaust system, you're gonna sacrifice horsepower. I mean, the whole reason we put the exhaust system on, like I said, is to unrestrict the exhaust, which is byproduct is horsepower, but also we're gonna gain sound. If you guys wanna make horsepower, you wanna manage the sound, you want to manage that drone, but you want the benefits of sound when you want it there by the push of a button and horsepower when you want it there, then Valvetronic Design is really a great option to go with because it's stainless steel, it's long lasting, it's going to do exactly what you need it to do. And if you guys go to their website, let's say you got exotics, German cars, BMWs, Audis, they've got full exhaust systems for you guys, high end, nicely TIG welded, stainless steel everything, very nicely done. Check out their website. Those systems are all on their website. You can look at your car, look at your system and see which one fits for you. Look up Valvetronic Design and manage the car's exhaust sound.
Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by NHOU. Sam raises the bar with a high-performance addition to this 1976 Chevy Nova, a new 9-inch rear end from Qucik Performance. Engineered to handle every ounce of engine horsepower, it's a game-changer for the performance enthusiasts. Join us as we witness the fusion of power and precision in this classic ride.
I got Eric's 76 Nova back in the shop. If you remember, I got a 6-liter LS engine in this thing with a Summit Racing cam kit. Rather than wait for the stock rear end to grenade, I went ahead to Qucik Performance and got a 9-inch fully built rear end with a 373 posi traction differential and a disc conversion for the rear brakes. He'll be able to go out there, do burnouts, and have the peace of mind of knowing nothing's gonna break. Now, if you guys are gonna be changing the rear end on your Nova or Camaro, first or second gen Nova, the springs are gonna wanna come off the perches. So I'm gonna take it off this perch here because it's easier because the gas tank's in the way right here. Swing them down, that'll get the clearance for the rear end to come down. So when you're doing it on a lift, you gotta make sure to lift it up from the body and not the spring perch because you're gonna be working there. If you notice, there's only one U-bolt holding this rear end on and only a couple of bolts holding the flange to this side of the rear end. So there's only one U-bolt on this side, one U-bolt on that side. There's no point in putting a 9-inch rear end in your car if you're not gonna put a second U-bolt in. I'm using a 75/90, which is a perfect all-around weight. Here in the South, we don't get very cold often, so we're good to go. Differential fluid, make sure that depending on your climate, what weight you use. In the warmer climate, you can use a thicker oil. In the colder climate, you want to use a thinner oil. That resistance is going to take away fuel economy. A couple of things you guys need to know before installing your rear end on a weekend, let's say. The tube diameter on the Ford 9-inch is going to be bigger than the factory rear end that came out. So the factory U-bolt's not going to work. I went to the local auto parts store and got a U-bolt for a 78 Bronco. It's gonna fit the diameter of the axle perfectly. This bracket, if you remember, we only had a U-bolt going through one side. Well, that U-bolt still fits going through that side, but they're not gonna fit going through this side. So you have to waddle out these two holes sideways so that you can get a U-bolt in there and still go with the 4 U-bolts like you heard me talk about for extra strength in the beginning. On a Camaro or a Nova, the caliper location left to right, because the shocks are staggered, you have to make sure the caliper on the driver's side is going to be facing the front of the vehicle. And when you do that, you have to make sure that the bleeder valve is going to be in the correct location. Because what I have here is a bleeder valve that's up top, like it's correct. But once I take this caliper and move it here, the bleeder valve is going to be on the bottom. So I have to call, get a new caliper, so that the bleeder valve is correct and everything should work. Once I get it all bolted up, I can cut the excess off and be fine. When you do this, you gotta make a new drive shaft. And in this case, they put an X-pipe in the exhaust system, which is great. It makes for much better sound. But on the old school cars, there was no room for an X-pipe to be tucked up in the car and the drive shaft live in the same space. So because this yoke being a 9-inch drops the yoke down a little bit, when you look at the path of the drive shaft, it's not gonna make it. So I'm gonna have to cut the exhaust out. We're gonna put a new exhaust in. That'll be a good candidate for a Valvetronic exhaust system. I think we finally got Eric's Nova's drivetrain complete. Now he can go out there, smash the gas, and not worry about anything breaking. If you guys want the same reliability and peace of mind, make sure to check out Qucik Performance. They've got everything you need for anything rear end, and they've even got all the little small parts you need to rebuild anything you have at home. Now don't forget guys, when this comes to you, it's gonna come with a tag with no oil in it and a break-in instructions. Follow those instructions, because if you do, it's gonna last a lot longer and stay a lot quieter.
Be sure to check out Sam's Garage on these other media platforms. Thanks for tuning in to Sam's Garage. Sam and Julia unleashed hidden horsepower in the Holley C6 Corvette with the Diablo Sport Tuner programmer. Meanwhile, Doug's Gentry 427 Cobra received a new set of period-correct tires. Sam also shared valuable insights into exhaust systems and maximizing horsepower. Let's not forget the transformation of the Chevy Nova with the beefy 9-inch rear end upgrade.